Hi, this is Ben from EnglishPhotographer.com and welcome. What I want to talk about quickly is just portraits and how to do them, and what makes a portrait different than a picture of a person, for example. So if you go into a passport booth, you get your passport photographs, they're not portraits. They really are just almost a photocopy of you as an object. And some would say that the state wants you to be an object, like a number or something, and slot in somewhere. Well, the point about this is, when you're a photographer, a good photographer, you want to go beyond that and take photographs of the individual as a character, their actual soul, if there is such a thing. Now, I do this in several ways. I look at this in several ways. First of all, people's habits, how they make them who they are. So, for example, if somebody has a habit of going to the gym all the time, they're going to be super strong. If they have a resolution for New Year of going to the gym, they're probably not going to look so strong. If you have a habit of eating well, that's going to reflect as well. So your habits make you who you are. It's not enough to do things once or twice and say that I am this sort of person. You have to actually do the action again and again. So habits are one thing I'm going to look at. You look at an individual, how have their habits made them different than they would otherwise be? Whether that's muscles or whatever it happens to be. Now, the second thing I look at is how they actually decide to be over a period of time. So, for example, my hair is probably too long at the moment, and therefore I'm more bohemian than I am some sort of crew-cut soldier. Likewise, I've grown a ridiculous beard, and again, that's not going to endear me to a military background. But the point about this is, my decisions over a period of maybe months, maybe a year, are again going to reflect in who I become. So, for example, people who have decided to pierce their nose or their tongue or have tattoos, again, that's going to say a lot about them. The character is inside, and that's their expression of it. And then finally, we have the real present day and what they've actually chosen to wear. And I'm wearing a Peru jumper because my beautiful girlfriend is from Peru, and I like to wear it. It's nice and warm on the beach. Now, these are choices that I've made, and that's going to again reflect in what I've chosen to wear. If I'm wearing a certain pair of sunglasses, whatever it happens to be. Again, these are choices that we make, identities that we put on, and that's again part of somebody's character and something you want to photograph. Now, finally, you're also going to want to look for a gesture. So, for example, if I am sad, I'm going to be crying. If you cut me, do I not bleed? Whatever it happens to be, my emotions in that moment are going to be reflected in my face. If I am shy, I might be with a closed body posture. If I'm confident, I might be like this. The point about it is that my body language and my gesture in my face, whether I'm smiling in a very insincere way like this, as I'm uncomfortable, or with a real broad, I'm really happy smile, it doesn't matter. But what the point is that the character is, again, the emotions are coming out through the face, through the body, and the way that's being held. So by looking at the habits, how people have actually become over a period of years, maybe even decades, and then looking also at the way people have become in terms of what have they grown, how have they pierced their face, how have, the girls with the rings around their necks make them super long. Those are again traditions and things, expressions of their character. And then what they've chosen to wear. For example, if I was wearing black Gothic clothes, I would be perceived in a different way. And again, that's an expression of my identity that I hold within. And finally, the gesture, what people actually look like and how they actually change their face, how they manipulate their face like this, or whatever it happens to be. And again, the photographer has a certain control over that, whether that's shocking people, chatting to them about their experiences, making them go deep within and making them happy or sad or or excited, whatever it happens to be. That's your point as a photographer, to notice somebody, decide who they want to be, who they want to express themselves to be, who they are, and also how you can relate to them to bring out a certain side of them. We all wear masks, and as photographers, our job is to find those masks and photograph them. Hope this is useful. Check out my website at www.englishphotographer.com and learn more at holistic photography at holisticphotography.com. Thanks so much.